Bonjour, année 9. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi 11 mai et nous allons regarder les émissions préférées, les émissions de télévision. Alors, nous allons parler des émissions de télévision et nous allons comparer les choses. Okay, so here's what we're doing today. We're looking at talking about television programs and using the comparative. So émission is the French word for program. It's feminine. Let's carry on. Alors, la première activité. Faites les paires. Vous avez une liste en français, les documentaires, les jeux télévisés, etc. Et vous avez l'anglais, the news, sports programs. Match up, make a note of the vocabulary, so write down the French vocab and match it up with the English. Just pause it here because I'm going to bring up the answers. So, les documentaires, documentaries, most of these are fairly straightforward. Les jeux télévisés, game shows, literally televised games. We've come across jeux before when we're talking about les jeux vidéo, for example. So jeux means games. Les magazines culturels. This is magazine shows. It's kind of like cultural, like the One Show. So it's like a bit of chat, it's a bit of news, it's a bit of culture. Numéro 4, les séries. Series, straightforward. Les émissions de sport, sports programs. Les émissions de musique, music programs. Les émissions de télé-réalité, reality TV programs. And les actualités. Les actualités is the news. Literally, if something is actuel, it's what's happening now. So les actualités is what is actually happening at the moment. So there you go. Make sure you've got a note of that vocab, the French and the English, please. Okay, here we go. So we are going to listen to people talking about what they like, what they don't like. What you are going to do is you're going to listen and read at the same time. Which phrase do they say? So they're only saying one of these phrases. Which one is the correct phrase? Here we go.
Unité 4. Mes émissions préférées. Page 38. Exercice 1. Lisez, puis écoutez et écrivez la bonne lettre. 1. Que penses-tu des documentaires, Charlie?
Moi, j'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont éducatifs.
2.
Let's just pause it there. So you're listening to what Charlie said, and he said j'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont éducatifs. What do you think éducatif might mean? What adjective can we get from education? Educational, instructive. Okay, let's listen to the rest. I will play them all the way through and then we'll do the answers. Bonne chance.
Et que penses-tu des jeux télévisés, Camille?
Je n'aime pas les jeux télévisés parce qu'ils ne sont pas passionnants.
3. Jérémy, que penses-tu des magazines culturels?
Je n'aime pas les magazines culturels parce qu'ils ne sont pas intéressants.
4. Et Marie, que penses-tu des séries?
J'adore les séries parce qu'elles sont passionnantes.
5. Salut Thomas, que penses-tu des émissions de musique?
Je n'aime pas les émissions de musique parce qu'elles ne sont pas originales.
6. Caroline, que penses-tu des émissions de télé-réalité?
J'adore les émissions de télé-réalité parce qu'elles sont amusantes.
7. David, que penses-tu des émissions de sport?
J'aime les émissions de sport parce qu'elles sont intéressantes.
8. Aurélie, que penses-tu des actualités?
Je n'aime pas les actualités parce qu'elles sont trop sérieuses.
Okay, there you go. Don't forget, you can listen to this as many times as you like. So if you're still not quite sure, go back, have another listen. You can just go back to either, if you're watching it on the PowerPoint, go back to the beginning of this slide, or if you're watching it on YouTube, you can just go back to the beginning of where they start the recording. Okay, I'm going to bring up the answers now. So, numéro 2, je n'aime pas les jeux télévisés parce qu'ils ne sont pas passionnants, because they are not exciting. Okay, numéro 3, je n'aime pas les magazines culturels parce qu'ils ne sont pas intéressants. This is it's very French actually, this type of show where you get people kind of talking about things and sitting on sofas and discussing. They might be talking about books or films or art. There's a lot of that in France. Ok, numéro 4. J'adore les séries parce qu'elles sont passionnantes. So we had passionnant in number 2. That's the masculine plural. Here you've got the feminine plural, so it's got an E and an S. J'adore les séries parce qu'elles sont passionnantes. Numéro 5, je n'aime pas les émissions de musique parce qu'elles ne sont pas originales. Not original. J'adore les émissions de télé-réalité parce qu'elles sont amusantes. Numéro 7, j'aime les émissions de sport parce qu'elles sont intéressantes. Okay, we've got the feminine here again. We had intéressant in number 3 without the E. For magazine culturel, and here in number 7 we've got intéressante with an ES. Et numéro 8, je n'aime pas les actualités parce qu'elles sont trop sérieuses. How did you get on? Okay, some good vocab here. Here we go. So some good words to describe different programs, why you like them, why you don't like them. Okay, so make a note of this vocabulary. You can see in the first brackets you've got the how you would change the ending if it was feminine, and then in the second brackets it's what happens to it in the plural. Okay, so most of them just add an S for plural, but you'll notice that when original, originaux, so when it's masculine, it's AUX for the plural. When it's feminine, it's ALES. Okay, so that's just a little bit different there. Notez le vocabulaire. If only I could say it. Traduction. Have a go at these. How might you translate these? Look back at the first exercise and the text that we were reading along with to help you, and have a think about how you might translate them. Think about your opinion first of all, then think about what you're talking about. Is it masculine or feminine? They're all plural, okay, so don't forget the adjective has to agree with the noun, alright? So if it's masculine, it will have to, masculine plural, it will have to add an S. If it's feminine plural, it will have to add an E and an S, or it may change slightly differently. Look at your list up here to help you. So pause it here while you have a think about those translations, and then we'll do them together. I like documentaries because they are interesting. So your opinion, I like, j'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont intéressants. So documentaire is masculine plural. You've got your adding an S onto your adjective there. I love sports programs. Different opinion here. J'adore les émissions de sport. Feminine, plural here, parce qu'elles sont passionnantes. Notice that we've changed the word for they has changed to the feminine because we're talking about émissions. I don't like the news. Je n'aime pas because it's boring. Je n'aime pas les actualités parce qu'elles sont ennuyeuses. Okay, again we're using the L form for they, because even though the news in English is singular, in French, les actualités, it's plural. Okay. Make a note of those translations with the English. Bravo. Ok, nous allons écouter et copier et compléter le tableau en anglais. So you're going to listen to 4 people giving their opinions. Have a listen, make notes, and don't forget you can do this as many times as you like. You can just take your time, you can listen to it again. Really take your time to get what detail you can from this exercise. So you don't have to do like a proper grid, but as long as you've got some way of saying what program are they talking about, what do they like first of all, why do they like it, then what don't they like, and why don't they like it. So you've got the answers to the first one. Let's have a listen to that together.
Page 38. Exercice 2. Écoutez les opinions. Copiez et complétez le tableau en anglais. 1.
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé, Théo?
Moi, j'adore les documentaires parce qu'ils sont éducatifs. Par contre, je n'aime pas les émissions de télé-réalité parce qu'elles ne sont pas originales.
Okay, so we've got Theo talking about what he likes and what he doesn't like. Did you notice how he gave his opposite opinion? He said par contre, on the other hand. Okay, par contre, giving the counter argument. Useful phrase to learn. Okay, let's listen to number 2 and see what they say.
2.
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé, Chloé?
J'aime beaucoup les magazines culturels, parce qu'ils sont sérieux. Par contre, je n'aime pas du tout les séries. Elles sont ennuyeuses.
Okay, have a listen to that again if you're not sure about what it was, and I'm going to bring up the answers now. So pause it here if you want to listen again and go back. Magazine programs, cultural programs, I think we'd call it. They think that they like them because they're serious, and then they don't like series because they're boring. Okay, again they used par contre. Have another listen to that one if you weren't sure. Okay, numéro 3.
3.
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé, Maxime?
Moi, j'adore les émissions de sport car elles sont passionnantes. Mais je n'aime pas du tout les actualités parce qu'elles ne sont pas amusantes.
4.
Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé, Sarah?
Moi, je préfère les émissions de musique parce qu'elles sont divertissantes. Je n'aime pas les jeux télévisés car ils ne sont pas intéressants.
Okay, how did you get on with those last 2? So Maxine likes sport because it's passionnante. Doesn't like the news because it's not funny, pas amusant. And then number 4, they like music programs because they are divertissantes, literally diverting, entertaining. And they don't like game shows, not interesting. Okay. If you didn't get on too well with that, why don't you have another listen now that you know what the answers are? So you can always go back to the beginning of this slide and just listen again and see if it makes a bit more sense now that you know what you're listening for. It's still really good practice for a listening exercise. Ok, nous allons discuter un petit peu. You've got some opinions here. I like watching documentaries because they're interesting, but I don't like series because they're boring. Have a think. How might you answer the question if somebody was asking you, what do you like? What TV programs do you like? So I'm going to ask you, and then I'll give a little pause. You can have a think about what you might say, and then I'll give you a possible answer. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé? J'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont intéressants. Par contre, je n'aime pas les séries car elles sont ennuyeuses. So that's a possible answer there. J'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont intéressants. Par contre, je n'aime pas les séries car elles sont ennuyeuses. So remember to use il or elle depending on whether the thing you're talking about is masculine or feminine, and also to make your adjective agree. Okay, let's try another one. Alors, qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé? J'aime les émissions de télé-réalité parce qu'elles sont divertissantes. Par contre, je n'aime pas les émissions de sport car elles ne sont pas éducatives. Okay, notice how éducatif, IF in the masculine, changes to Eve, IVES in the feminine plural. Okay, it's like the adjective actif, active. Okay, we often come across that ending, and something ending in IF in masculine changes to IVE in the feminine. Ok, très bien. Encore. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé? J'aime les jeux télévisés parce qu'ils sont amusants. Par contre, je n'aime pas les émissions de musique car elles ne sont pas originales. Okay, we've got a nice use of par contre there to give the opposite opinion. On the other hand, this is what I don't like. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes regarder à la télé? J'aime les émissions de télé-réalité parce qu'elles sont passionnantes. Par contre, je n'aime pas les actualités car elles sont trop sérieuses. Bravo, how did you get on with that? Go back through and have another go now that you know what the possible answers are. See if you can remember. So flip back a few slides or move the YouTube video back a bit and go back to the beginning of this speaking. See if you can come up with those answers to my questions now. Pause it after you've heard me ask the question. Think how you might answer it. Just have a practice, give it a few goes. Ok, lisez les textes. Trouvez l'équivalent français des phrases anglaises. So down the bottom you've got 8 phrases in English. Can you find the French in these texts? Just pause it here, give yourself a chance to read it through, and I'm going to bring up the answers. So number 1, my favourite programme is Mon émission préférée, c'est. You've also got that in the first text as well. I never miss this programme, number 2. Je ne rate jamais cette émission. Rater means to miss something. Number 3, I learn a lot. J'apprends beaucoup. Apprendre is an RE verb which means to learn. So you can see that the first person present tense using je ends in an S. It's a little bit irregular, but it mainly follows the pattern. Number 4, I like the presenter. J'aime bien l'animateur, so the presenter, the animator. Number 5, the actors are very talented. Les acteurs sont très doués. This is a nice adjective. Doué means gifted or talented. The plot is very exciting. Le scénario est passionnant. I think we sometimes use the word scenario in English when we're talking about a scene or setting something up. So le scénario is the plot. I stream this series. Je regarde cette série en streaming. Obviously, they're using an anglicism here. Streaming isn't a French word, but they've just taken that from the English or from the American. And number 8, it's more practical than watching live TV. C'est plus pratique que regarder la télé en direct. So live TV is la télé en direct. C'est plus pratique que. It's more practical than. Nice sort of little comparison there. Okay, we've got a bit more reading here. So, we are listening to Yann, Elio and Clémentine talking about what they think. Take a bit of time just to read through. Remember the verb rater, which we met on the last slide, means to miss. Okay. J'apprends beaucoup, I learn a lot. Okay, we're looking particularly at the comparisons here. So Yann thinks that something are more something than something. What could that be? I'm going to bring up the answer, so do just pause it, give yourself time to read it, take your time. So, Yann thinks that science magazine programs are more interesting than music programs. Elio thinks that game shows, jeux télévisés, are more entertaining, divertissant, than sports programs. Clémentine thinks that reality TV shows are less exciting, passionnant, than drama series. Okay, how did you get on with that? Have a flip back and have another read of those texts, see if you can get any more information out of that. So we've seen a little bit about this in the texts. We had the Yann and compagnie comparing things. So remember, to compare things in French, the French will say more than, using plus the adjective, and then que. And less than, using moins, plus the adjective and que. We've come across moins before. Do you remember when we were telling the time? Moins le quart, minus a quarter. So some useful things here. I'd like you to note this down and write down the little examples that they've given as well. Remember, the adjective needs to agree with the first noun, okay? So if you're talking about les jeux télévisés, it's masculine plural, sont plus amusants que les actualités. Okay, so they are more amusing than the news. Les séries, feminine plural, sont moins intéressantes, so it's got an E and an S, que les magazines culturels. Make a note of that and include the examples. Now, have a look at this. Can you choose the correct option for completing each phrase? Okay, so if we're talking about les documentaires in number 1, we have to think, is it feminine or is it masculine? And if so, which one are we going to use? Okay, have a little read through and have a think. Pause it here. Give yourself a chance to réfléchir, to reflect. And I'm going to bring up the answers. Les documentaires, masculine plural, sont plus sérieux que les émissions de musique. Les séries, féminines, plus amusantes que les émissions de télé-réalité. Magazines culturels, although it looks like it should be feminine, they're actually masculine. Moins éducatif, less educational than the news. Les émissions de télé-réalité, so émission is feminine plural, moins original que les jeux télévisés. Okay, I would like you to write a paragraph about your favourite TV programs. What do you like? What do you love? What don't you like? Try to include a comparative. What do you think is more interesting or more exciting or less interesting, less entertaining? What's your favourite TV program called? Okay, so basically you've got this grid to help you. You can say j'aime les documentaires parce qu'ils sont amusants. You've got all the masculine ones in that first line. Then in the boxes below you've got all the feminine ones, so you're going to be using elles sont, and you're going to be using the feminine version of the adjective. Then you're going to use a comparison. Je pense que les documentaires sont plus intéressants que les jeux télévisés, par exemple. Then you're going to say what your favorite program is. What is it? C'est un jeu télévisé, un magazine culturel, une série, une émission de whatever. Why is it your favorite? It's my favorite program because I like the presenter, or the actors are really talented, or it's got an exciting plot, or because it's really interesting and educational. Do you remember what this meant? Je ne rate jamais cette émission. Rater, to miss. Remember our negative, ne jamais, around the verb, means never. I never miss this program. So, have a go. I'd like you to write, about 60 words on your favourite TV programs, and you can do that on a Word document. You can, if you're writing it out by hand, you can try and email it to me if you've got it on a Word document, or you can attach it on Show My Homework as a photo. However you can. Do not stress if you're unable to upload your work. Do the piece of writing and then keep it safely in a folder at home, and we can look at it together when we're back in school. Ok tout le monde, bonne chance et à bientôt j'espère. Et voilà, c'est la fin. Alors, à bientôt, au revoir.